Hey guys, this is Comics G-Man. Going to be talking about Young Washington. Now, I went to see that today with my grandfather, and let me tell you guys something. This movie was absolute trash, okay? I mean, I didn't even go into this movie with any expectations. Nothing great, nothing too low. All I was saying to myself was, well, at the very least, we might get an interesting historical drama of George Washington, right? That's what I thought it was going to be. And let me tell you something, it didn't even hit low expectations. The movie is an absolute bore fest. It is completely boring, torturous, unbearable shit. Really, it really is that bad, guys, at least for me. And it was bad for my grandfather as well. Now, my grandpa has trouble with movies anyway, so he was falling asleep in like the first 20 minutes. He started falling asleep, and I let him fall asleep. I'm like, okay, he'll stay asleep, and I'll just see this movie through as best as I can. And I couldn't even do it. So he eventually woke up on his own at one point. We were an hour into the movie, and I said to him, Grandpa, this movie sucks. This movie sucks. You want to go home? And he says, yeah, I can't even put it together anyway. I don't. He didn't like it. I didn't like the movie anyway, and I was just happy that he was falling asleep and that he was bored of it. So we got out of there in an hour. My idea was to get Grandpa out of the house anyway, but he didn't like the movie at all. He enjoyed the ride to the movie theaters at least, so he was happy to get out of the house. But I there's not much he wants to do, so it's very hard to get him to do different things. But this movie was horrible. This movie was horrible. It's pretentious. It's soulless. Absolutely soulless. So currently this movie has a 5.8 out of 10 on IMDb. I think it should be much worse than that. Let's see what it is on Rotten Tomatoes. Young Washington. But they had Kelsey Grammer, right? They had Benjamin Kingsley. Those are the two biggest actors that I noticed. Okay, so far, the Thermometer by the critics, and it's in theaters in July, but at my movie theaters, they had it out today early, okay? It was total trash. Now, they're giving it, the critics, a 63%, which is not great. I think it's much worse than that. Let's see if there are any pukes in here. Okay, good, there are some pukes in here. Even apart from the dull filmmaking, yes, extremely hollow storytelling. Or I'm glad some critics are saying that. Mediocre film, hardly worthy of the father of our country. Joey Magidson, based. Yes, it's horrible. Absolutely. Most of the movie, Washington is a cuck for the English. And look, I don't care what you say about, like, yes, this is historically accurate. This is what they're basing it off of what Washington did. Honestly, I don't know. I didn't look into this part of Washington's life. I just know the general basics. He was a surveyor. He did all these kinds of things. Blah, blah, blah. But you know something? If you're making a movie about George Washington, this is the worst part of Washington's life to make a movie out of. The most interesting part of Washington's life is what everybody, at least the even normies, know about the Revolution, right? And it's a great way to get actors to play John Adams, James Madison, Thomas Jefferson, go down the list, Samuel Adams. We could talk about all of the revolutionaries, and they could even bring in revolutionaries that we don't even talk about, like some of the rich people who, there was some rich revolutionaries who literally threw away their entire lives for it. And one guy was rich, he had a mansion, and the English owned that house. I don't know his name. For any of you history buffs out there, I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. There was one rich guy who literally had the English take over his mansion, and he was a part of the revolution, and he gave them the green light to blow up his own fucking mansion. What a fucking badass, right? So I mean, you could like use the movie like that to bring in some unknown historical figures who did things like that. I mean, I'm just saying, like, this movie didn't do any of that. It was very generic. Generic would be genuine, because at least with a generic movie that's predictable, at least you could just, all right, I'll sit back, just watch the movie, enjoy some of the moments that we could squeeze out of it. But there wasn't even a moment in this movie. It was boring. The love interest was fucking boring. The girl that he likes a lot, and she ends up marrying some rich asshole Washington volunteers to do surveying for Lord, what's his name, Fairfax, who Kelsey Grammer plays, and look, I'm a fucking big Kelsey Grammer fan. Okay, I have every season of Frasier on DVD, and I have it on Fandango at home, Vudu, whatever. When I bought it at the time, I love Frasier, one of my favorite comedy sitcoms. Right, so I love Kelsey Grammer. I even love Kelsey Grammer in the controversial show that got canceled, Boss, because it didn't do too well. So I could like Kelsey Grammer in shitty movies, but this movie is shit. Kelsey Grammer couldn't even fix it. And I also have to criticize, look, I actually haven't watched any Angel films because, to be honest with you, when I first heard about Angel and what they are and why they are doing what they're doing and the kind of movies that they're making, I completely avoided their movies because, honestly, it's pretentious, it sounds lame, and it sounds like something like, a high morally... a morally high librarian old woman would come up with, right? That's what it sounds like to me when I hear Angel Studios. This shouldn't even be called Angel Studios. What is the... I wouldn't say demon just to be a smartass, because it's not even that. At least a demon would be, like, violent and interesting and fucked up, too. An angel should be more interesting than this. What's the in-between of... What would not be an angel or a demon? Like, just a void, right? Like, it's just completely soulless. There's absolutely no soul in young Washington at all. No digs at the young actor. Can't blame the guy for taking this gig. But the script they gave him was atrocious. They didn't do any favors for this actor, I'm sorry to say. It was not a good script. There was nothing interesting about Washington. There's so much more you could do. Now, I know people dig into the Napoleon movie by... who made Napoleon? Was it Ridley Scott? Napoleon with Joaquin Phoenix. I'm fucking butchering his name on the typing here. Sorry, guys. Who made it? Yeah, Ridley Scott made Napoleon. Now, yeah, there are issues with Napoleon, definitely. But I would see Ridley Scott making a better Washington movie than whatever this movie was. Because at least he would do a good job with old Washington, in my opinion. I don't know, honestly. I don't know. I didn't watch Napoleon. I really should. But I've seen shots of it. And I like Ridley Scott for the most part. But I still have not watched Napoleon. But I'm sure it's very epic and better than this, at least. But, I mean, Washington deserves better. He deserves a better director. I'm pretty sure the reason why directors wouldn't take this is because it doesn't seem that the Founding Fathers and this part of history is that popular with the American audience, so I could understand why Hollywood never really took it up. We have better stuff, even miniseries all the way back to 2004, John Adams with Paul Giamatti. Not that it's a titular, stimulating miniseries. I won't say that, but at least it's entertaining. Paul Giamatti is compelling in that. I don't remember the actor who played Thomas Jefferson, but he was very memorable. The two of them were in very memorable dynamic in that. So even a fucking miniseries from 2004 is better than fucking Young Washington 2026. This movie is trash. It's absolute trash. It shouldn't even be getting a 5.8. It should be getting bombed. This movie is terrible. And I hate to say that because I love Kelsey Grammer. But, look, I'm sure Kelsey Grammer has principles and he's with this Angel company because it's what he believes in. I don't know the political aspect of it. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So I understand that. So I respect Kelsey Grammer for sticking with his beliefs. But frankly, it's not doing it. These movies are not anything to brag about. They're trash. I mean, Young Washington, that's the best title you could come up with that. This sounds like something that should be on the History Channel, maybe. Maybe a one-off show, like a miniseries, an 8-episode miniseries. But this should not be a movie, and it's not a good movie. I didn't like anybody in it. There's no supporting cast that's interesting. I don't know, dude. When I saw the trailers for this movie at the cinema the other day, when I saw Supergirl for a third time, I'm like, oh, yeah, it looks good. And if it's not great, at least I like the look. It looks like a Last of the Mohicans kind of movie. I mean, not like to that degree, like just that, at least how it looks. You know what I'm saying? But no, it's a total bore fest. It's torture. It feels forever. I was glad to get the hell out of there. Only lasted an hour. Couldn't stand to stay another hour of this. I mean, look, I don't know. People might say that this is historically accurate or it's not. I don't give a fuck about that. Is it a good movie? No, it's not a good fucking movie. And I'm going to bring out controversial films now. Now, we have movies like Last of the Mohicans, which is not a controversial film. It's one of the best films, I think, for this time period. That Daniel Day-Lewis, all of the actors in that, the love interest in that movie was just fucking 100% spot on. Last of the Mohicans is a classic movie. It's soul. It's full of soul. It is, you can't beat Last of the Mohicans, right? And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I think it serves as kind of an example for these time set pieces here. This movie could have been way better. And I know Last of the Mohicans is not, Last of the Mohicans is actually, isn't that set around the same period here? The French are in that. The French and the English are fighting in Last of the Mohicans, so it's the same setting because here, this is during Washington's youth. This is before America got sick of England. Because for a long time, I know I'm sure most people know this watching this channel, but I've probably a lot of people don't know this one fact. Americans adhered and loved England before we did the revolution. We wanted to be like England. We loved the royalty. It was actually kind of pathetic. The Americans loved English culture. They sent their kids to be educated in England. They wanted them to come back like the English. We wanted to emulate everything that was England at that time. But we slowly got sick of their bullshit with the crown and the taxes and all of that. I mean, that's a whole history thing you could get into. So yeah, that's a great piece of history that should be way more interesting than what they show in this movie. It just comes off like Washington has, yes, he has ambition to do something different, but it kind of comes off kind of cucky a little bit. Washington cucked by the English a little. It doesn't feel like he's outsmarting them. But I mean, I'm just saying as a movie, though, let's just forget about what I'm saying about the history side of it. As a movie, it's not interesting. It doesn't work. It's a slog. It's a slog. There was nobody in the movie. There was like four people in the back, and there was two old people in the front, and just me and my grandfather. That was it. That was it, dude. The movies are fucking dying. The movies are dying. I've went to the movies so many times these past 2 weeks, and I have not. The only crowd of people I saw as we were leaving were a bunch of kids that were seeing Minions. That's it. That's fucking it. You know, the mothers bringing their kids to see Minions. That's it, dude. But like hardcore cinephiles, I mean, maybe I guess are going to see movies now. But I'm done. I am done with this shit. I am done. Look. I made a video that I'm going to post first before I put this up. Let me show it to you. I made a video about upcoming anticipated films that I thought looked good, right? Most anticipated upcoming films. I can't wait for these, right? It's Heart of the Beast, Motor City, Wildwood, and Odyssey, and Jimmy Stewart was in there. A bunch of movies. And now I'm still going to upload this movie because I like the thumbnail at least. But I hate to break it to you guys. I quit with the movies. I'm not going to the theaters. I'll wait for these movies to come out on TV and I'll just watch them on my Roku, whatever, rent them or something. But I am tired of going to these movies because it feels like torture. I feel like it's just not worth the ride. It's not worth the gas bill. I'd rather save money on the gas bill and just put more money towards my channel here. Put more money just to just keep up with my budget, read my comics, you know, stuff like that. Go out a little more, maybe just walk more different places with my dog. But I'm not going to, I can't support these movies anymore because the Supergirl trailer looked absolutely phenomenal for me. I know a lot of people didn't like the Brokenhearted trailer. I understand that. But for me, when I saw the Supergirl trailer, I thought it looked phenomenal. But when I saw Heart of the Beast trailer, all these trailers that made me say I can't wait to see these movies now, I'm not going off of that trailer anymore. I'm done. Because the trailers are making these movies look like something they're not. Like, they're atrocious most of the time. Now, I might be wrong. These movies that I originally was anticipated for, they might be really good. But you know what? I'm not going to find out in the movie theaters. I don't care anymore. I'll just wait and see them on TV if I even remember to see them. But I am not wasting any more of my time driving to the movies, wasting gas money to watch these movies, because it just hasn't been anything to brag about. So I quit on the movies. I'm sorry if I made it look like I'm anticipated to see these movies. I really was, but I just can't do it anymore. It's just not. It's just a waste of time to go to the movies now. The movies are dying. The movies are boring. They're not fun. They're just too generic. They're too soulless. They're too corporate. They're too by the book. There's nobody here trying to do anything. I'm just, maybe from watching, I've been watching movies since I was a child, so I've seen so many fucking movies from the past and everything. These movies, even the worst movies from the past, are better than the movies that they're making now. The mediocre movies of today are total trash compared to the mediocre movies of the past, if that makes sense. So that's just how I feel. Young Washington was trash. Sorry. I don't care if that sounds unpatriotic. I don't care if that sounds like I'm shitting against smaller movies, but it was trash. It really was. It was unbearable trash that we walked out of after the first hour. So what did you guys, have you guys seen the early watchings of this yet, like I did, or are you waiting to see it? And are you going to see it? You looking forward to it? Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you did see it and you see this video later on, let me know what you think of it. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are going to say that I'm overreacting and it's not as bad as it is. Oh, no, it's boring. It's fucking boring, at least for me. I was even ready to go to sleep on this movie. Like, I was like, should I leave early or should I take a snooze, right, and just enjoy the nice recliner here? Nah, I wanted to get out of there anyway. Why waste the time? And I could just make a video about it here and just work on a couple of things. So thanks for listening, guys. Like and subscribe if you like. Have a good one.